finally I'm all ready. Nothing works proper today. Son of a... See, everything is falling. You see that cap, that stupid spray? The can kept falling. Now this thing falls. Come on, empty bottle. I'm gonna get rid of them at my next stop. But so basically, it's a very long way, but the load pays great money, right? So pretty much loaded miles is the same as empty. That usually not very good, but this is 98, 100,000 pounds. Well, I ordered the permits for like 120 because Michigan is $50 no matter what, and then yeah, in Illinois I think will be expensive. All right, what do we have here? Do we have any exclamation marks? No, I think I did them yesterday. Basically, if I don't sign insert duty status, how did that happen? Friday. No. Why are we on Friday? See, this thing is sometimes so slow. See, okay, now we're on Saturday. Okay. And it's connected. Everything is green. Change duty status. On duty. Save. See, I click save. Inspection. Track 305. Next. Alright. Looks like finally the hardware is ready to roll. Now I just need to... It's getting hot. It was a bit cold in the morning. So time now is 10 o'clock. And actually that's perfect because that's when I wanted to leave, at 10 o'clock. I'll probably just stop and top up my DEF in London at the Flying J, which is 1 hour away. And then head over to Port Huron, and I'm just over 50% of fuel. I think I'm gonna stop again at that marathon in Smith Creek on I-94. I think last time with diesel was what, like 319, 315. You know, it's still cheaper than over here. Too close. We need to give him a bit more space. You know, sometimes I look at this, it's hard for me to believe that I reached this level of heavy haul, you know, because this is very expensive stuff, you know. Jeep, Stinger, 60-ton trailer, long neck. What happened? Where's the Google Maps again? Something is glitchy here. Yeah, it was the signal. I think the signal is...
This road crosses a country border.
Well, it's almost warmed up. I don't have time to sit here and wait. There's a huge pothole in there, probably like this big. I think it's like they did it on purpose.
Head south toward Pine Bush Road.
To test your driving skills before you leave the yard, to make sure you're a safe driver. So if you can make it past that 2-foot tall pothole, you're good. Bye Cambridge. Not sure how long I'll be gone. My broker called me 3 times yesterday at 7 o'clock. Like I'm watching a movie on Netflix on my computer at the hotel. He calls me every 15 minutes after hours, you know. Oh, Sergei, I'm sorry, but my customer is asking. And let me remind you, so no, yeah, first he sends me a message, and then just to give you a glimpse into the crazy freight broker's world, he sends me a message. Sergei, now they say all the trucks must load Tuesday morning. Please confirm you're okay loading Tuesday morning. And I said, you asked me to order permits for Monday. So I said these permits are usually good between...
Slight right to stay on Pine Bush Road, Waterloo Regional Road 39.
The permits are usually good for anywhere from 2 to 5 days. So I said if any of the permits I ordered, because I based them, you know, on the starting point, starting date, as... is it open? I think it's open. No, son of a gun. That's not good. See, it's impossible to see this. I didn't see any signs, but they keep closing this ramp there's no construction over there. Like, why is that we closed? You know, access to Highway 401 West closed. Yeah, no. And I feel like my my trip did not start right. But anyway, so he says, so can you are you okay with loading Tuesday? I said, well, oh, and because he says, yeah, please order your permits beforehand. If the dimensions are wrong or they need reordering, we'll compensate you for that. Basically, he says, from what I can tell, is like money is no object, you know. Okay, so I order permits, and then he says, now we're loading Tuesday. I said, well, now some of the permits might expire. I said, I can load Tuesday as long as you understand that I might need to reorder permits. And he says, yeah, that's fine. And I said, and then I sent a message to my permit broker, Carrie Ann. Nice lady. I've been working with her for, I don't know, ever since I became independent. And she was probably busy because I said, Carrie Ann, now they want me to load Tuesday. Could you please move all the permits by 1 day into the future? Because some of them I did the starting day Monday, then like Illinois, Indiana, because that's like very far, right? I said start them Tuesday. So they're all different. These, what do I need? South Dakota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan. 5 permits. And I said, could you please move them? And she answers with one word in capital letters: yes. So what tells me that she was busy, and of course she was not happy with me. So now she has to go back to those websites and change the dates. But it's because of this guy. And then he calls me, he says, so Sergei, just so are you okay? I said, I sent you an email. I said, I'm okay as long as you are ready to pay me for reordering permits. Oh, sorry, I missed your email. This was like 5 to 7. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Friday, right? 7 o'clock Friday. And he's bothering me with this nonsense. And then he says, Sergei. He calls again 10 minutes later. I'm like, I'm not making this up. This is funnier than any comedy program on TV show. At 7:15 on a Friday, right? He says, Sergei, the customer is asking, when do we plan to deliver? You're freaking kidding me, right? I am 900 miles away from your shipper. I haven't even left my yard. We haven't loaded yet. You keep moving the date from Monday to Tuesday, right? And now the permits are not issued. And I said, by the way, I will need two pilots in Michigan, because I'm gonna, with this Jeep and Sting, I'll be 107 feet long. I think I need 2. Yeah, I'll need 2 pilots. I said, that takes time to set up, right? And sometimes pilots are not available like this, you know, like you call, let's say, if I call right now and start looking for a pilot, let's say, they're gonna say, oh, we can do it maybe Wednesday, you know. And so I try to explain to this guy, and he says, Sergei, you don't have to, you're preaching to the choir. He says, just my custom is, and then he uses not a very good word, but you know, which describes perfectly the nature of some customers. So the guy keeps changing the date of loading, right? That's not my broker, that's the customer, right? And then he wants to know when are we gonna deliver. Like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, you see what I had to do? I had to go, basically this is the next entrance to to 401. But actually this is better because there's you see it's a roundabout, right? Whereas if I would have gone on Haspler, there's like 3 lights in there. And you see now this is a nice ramp, 401 West London. Beautiful. And these wrecker trucks always sit here, you know. I remember the days when I was a driver like that. I drove tilt and load, you know, like a rollback truck. But the same thing, you spend like 6 hours on your ass just sitting on the shoulder waiting for your radio to start squawking, you know. And I think my number was 26. Or was it my, yeah, I think my, back in the day when they, you know, truck 26. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we got a CAA call, right shoulder westbound 401 near the airport. Get radio rolling, we're just waiting for the confirmation. And I hated those CAA. Basically it's the same as a AAA, but in the States it's called American Automobile Association, AAA, right? Like Alcoholics Anonymous. But in Canada it's called Canadian Automobile Association, but the same idea. They give you you pay them a fee every year, and in exchange for that they give you you know, roadside assistance, all this good stuff, right? And so for us, I remember for me as a driver, it was very cheap. Because this CAA, they were very greedy. Like they didn't pay us, I don't know. I would go pretty much risk my life on the side of the road, you know, in a traffic like this where people are flying by at 70 miles an hour, 2 meters away, you know, 1 meter away. And I would spend 2 hours, let's say, changing a tire, and then I would make 10 bucks, you know, like honest. And that's when I started looking. I said, no, I don't want to do this. I thought tow truck drivers, you know, were making money, but yeah, sometimes I would make money when I would tow something like an expensive car. I remember they sent me all the way to, I think almost like Montreal, you know, because the guy had some rich guy had an Audi, you know, expensive car, break down over there, and something like serious, like a transmission or something, you know, or the engine. And I'm guessing they gave him a very high quote for the repair, and so for him it was cheaper to call a tow truck and move that car to the shop, you know, in his area in Toronto, where he was usually servicing this car, you know. And I remember they charged the guy like 700 bucks, you know. To me that was like a lot of money. I think I made maybe, I forgot, 200 bucks out of that. And that's when, you know, I started thinking about getting my AZ or AZ license and driving the truck. But actually I was thinking about this long time before that, but somehow I lacked the you know, I still had some money. I didn't want to get dirty. I never drove a semi-truck in Russia, you know. I just checked if I remember to take my passport with me, otherwise I cannot cross the border. the front of the trailer to see if it's still dog track, is it dog tracking or not. But I cannot tell. Maybe those folding ramps are a bit crooked, right? So but honestly, I'm tired of aligning these axles because it's not easy to align them because they're flip axles. So I'm curious to see how this new flip axle will behave, because this will be the first time I'm using it, right? Flying J in London, Ontario. Just get him some def. 89.9. So basically 90 cents Canadian per 1 liter, which is not too bad. What? Jeez. Like the pressure is crazy. And I cannot make it any slower. Alright, I think, jeez. I think it's full. Alright, this was easy. I just want to go inside again, and because I had to go inside and prepay. I just want to go inside and get something to eat, grab a sandwich or something, and check my lottery. I see the needle starts moving. What? Okay, it's moving now. Moving. See that? Should stop on full. Alright, I just want to move the truck, even though all the pumps are empty, but you know, they don't like it when you sit at the pump not fueling and doing nothing. I moved away from the pumps and I noticed there's something weird going on the trailer. I'll show you guys that in a second. Right now I just need to print out my Ace. I love this printer. This is much better than I had before. This one is what, HP 200. No cables. Like normally I'm not a fan of actually wait, yeah, I'm not a fan of Bluetooth, but this thing has Wi-Fi. It's like I'm still amazed by this technology. And also this thing has its own Wi-Fi spot, so it creates a Wi-Fi, right? Then I go into my Wi-Fi settings and I'll just take this and print, make sure it's black and white, and draft. Where's draft? Draft, because even draft it looks fine. Then maybe scale to fit, and that's it. It's pretty fast. And then once in a while I have to charge the battery, but the battery, because I do like 1 or 2 pages, you know. So now that's all I need to cross the border. And of course, to get this, I prepared this online, so that's what I show what I show to the officer when I show up at the border. All right, so let me go fix that thing in the back, and I'll show you in a second what it is. So basically, I put in that piece of rubber on the both of these because it was sitting on right on the metal. And now when I stopped, I checked that this piece was hanging in here, right on my hoses, you know. So now I wanna loosen these and see if that side will raise itself. Well, when I try to pull on it, it wouldn't go. Like one side is stuck, you know. I'm a genius. Well, almost. What do you guys think? If I start pushing it, will it go up or not? All I need is like 5 millimeters. Man, I spent like an hour here. Some guy called me about the tires as I was working in there. Some guy wants to buy my Challenger tires that I have taken off. Now, how do I clean my hands? Is Listerine good for hands? I think it is. Alright, the chains are tight, the rubber is secured on the deck. It's cut, so it's not gonna damage my hoses. But yeah, I'm really surprised that that trick did not work, you know? Like, I raised the front like that. Like, what else do you need, right? So it's supposed to go like this, especially since I have those blocks in there, you know, that prevent articulating. The blocks in there, so the block should be pushing that axle. But I guess because it's so far away, you know, because you're raising over here, still weird, you know. And it was actually touching. It was touching on both sides. That's why I put that rubber in there. Yeah, I don't need 3 axles in the back, right? I'm about, with this setup, tandem Jeep and Stinger, I'm about 73,500 pounds. So that's like a typical, you know, dry van like this. Like, they always have tandem in the back.
300 meters, turn right onto Highbury Avenue South North.
And a regular 3-axle truck. All right, let's just get out of here. I remember doing some photography here. They had in the spring, like early spring, they had some newly born ducklings in there, you know, like the mama goose does circles around that little pond, and those tiny baby ducklings are just,
Next right onto Highbury Avenue South North.
you know, are just following her, like, you know, 6 or 8 of them. It was so cool. And I had a big lens, you know, back when I was doing wildlife photography, and I went in there, I tried to get close. They're so cautious. As soon as they see me get close to the water, they just run to the opposite side, you know. The front axle is pretty high over the air, in the air. So diesel at the Greedy Pilot is $126.9, $1.26, basically $1.27 Canadian per liter. And here we have a queue waiting line of people that like washing their trucks right before the rain. It's a rare breed, but you see them in every state and every province. Like, honestly, I gave up on washing the truck. Each time I do it, it stays clean for 2 days. Then I go into some dirt yard to load or unload. And as you can imagine, washing my trailer, it's not cheap. And I used to argue about this, you know, with all these beacon guys, because if you have a dry van trailer, right, they wash the truck, they wash the trailer, and of course the trailer has, I don't know, 10-foot tall sidewalls, right, and then it has doors in the back, another huge surface, and so they're okay washing that for a basic, you know, basic rate. But as soon as a guy like me shows up and I say, okay guys, please wash the floor of my trailer,
Ontario 401 West for 6 kilometers.
and they're like, oh, we gotta charge for that extra. Like, why? I don't have any sides, right? Like, my sides are what, 1 foot tall? You know, the side of the trailer, there's nothing, right? Like, I'm not like that guy, and yet they wash dry vans pretty much for free, and they always charge me extra. trying to come up with some kind of excuse. Oh, our employees are not allowed on the top of the trailer. I said, who's asking you to go on top of the trailer? Just take that hose that you have like 100 kilometers long and wash the deck. What's your problem? But anyway, I used to do that. I don't argue with them anymore. Just say, yeah, I want everything washed. So the guy runs out, looks at my equipment, comes back and says, okay, that will be $500. No, it's not 500 bucks, but it's still, it's more expensive than washing, you know, a truck like that. But I know big companies, yeah, they always wash their equipment, and the major reason is the attention of DOT and police. Like, especially if you have an older truck, you know, if it's very dirty, cops can pay more attention. They're gonna stop you, and you know, and that's why they like washing the engine bay every time they get, because I'm talking about big carriers, because you know, if you have an oil leak somewhere, right, so they can park you, you know, give you like a service, some kind of a violation ticket. And so it helps, yeah, it helps with police, with enforcement, when your truck is clean. But it's expensive for me, and I'm in Canada, right? So especially in winter, like people sitting somewhere in Louisiana watching my videos and like, hey man, why is the truck so dirty? Well, maybe check the geographic location of Canada, then you're not gonna you won't need my answer, because we have so much snow in here and salt. Winters are brutal. All right, what do we have? Plus 10. I know that in Fahrenheit that's exactly 50 F. And how do I know? Because